It started last June in Montreal. Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard. Now they do it again in New Orleans for the Welterweight Championship of the World. It happens Tuesday night. And waiting for them, the hitman, Tommy Hearns. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the special The Bourbon Street Brawl. Of course, as you know, it's Roberto Duran fighting Sugar Ray Leonard down in New Orleans on Tuesday night. However, today, I want to take a few minutes out, in fact, more than a few minutes, to have you meet the man that I think is the most overlooked fighter in the country. In Detroit, he's a superstar. To those of us who are in the boxing world, we are amazed with him. I refer to the guy that they call the Detroit Hitman, and that's why I have this suit, is because in honor of the fact that Tommy Hearns is here, and if you know anything about Ring magazine, on the cover this month, there's a picture of Tommy Hearns with a machine gun and a beautiful pinstripe suit, and as you can see by looking at him, his suit is a whole lot different than the one I'm wearing. His has a lot more class. But anyway, the question is, who is Tommy Hearns, and why has not the world in general heard more of him? Why is it only the insiders in the boxing world? Why are we the only ones who really know about Tommy Hearns? Well, there are a couple of reasons. One is the fact that neither Sugar Ray Leonard nor Roberto Duran has had a fight with him. On his left is a young man who many people in the boxing world know as one of the most congenial type of people. That's Prentice Bird, the assistant manager. He is also from Detroit and a very close associate of Emmanuel Stewart. And as the years go on and you hear more about Tommy Hearns, you're going to hear a lot about Emmanuel Stewart. Next to Tommy Hearns on his right is a face who is very familiar to those of you who are in the Washington area. That's Dave Jacobs. Dave is best known for his training relationship with Sugar Ray Leonard, had been in his corner for every fight in Sugar Ray's career. For the first time, he will not be there. It has not been, as you know, a pleasant split. Everyone said that, gee, they were great friends, very close. It must be painful to have split. Unfortunately, a lot of the things in the press indicate that there were a lot of problems. Tommy, while Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard get all the notoriety this week, you surely must be saying to yourself privately, go ahead, you guys, take all the publicity. One day you got to come meet me.
Well, sure. I know that they're getting all the publicity now, but I know soon one day that I will be getting all the publicity too that they are getting today. So basically I just sit back and wait till my turn, and I know my turn will definitely come around soon.
You talk about your turn coming around, and on this I must refer to you, Prentice. You people, first of all, 29-0, 27 knockouts, and yet he is just slowly becoming a worldwide figure. You almost plot rather carefully the career of Thomas Hearns and what all he's going to be doing.
Well, sure. What we did with Thomas is we brought Thomas right along with Ray Leonard, because Ray Leonard was a standout person in boxing then, and we tried to keep our fights up with him. You know, as far as he was having 2 fights, we had 2 fights. You know, so this way we could carry our thing right along with him. So now we want a Ray Leonard Thomas Hearns fight. We want the winner of the Roberto Duran Ray Leonard fight in New Orleans, and we're waiting to get him.
But it hasn't come close yet. Why hasn't it come close? Have you ever said, come on, let's go?
Of course, we have made offers for the fight, but we didn't get any refund back after we had offered to fight this guy. You know, nobody never said anything after that.
Tommy, one of the things that made Sugar Ray was the Olympics. I don't know if anyone's ever asked you, but where were you at the time of the Olympics?
Well, at that particular time, in 1976, I had an injury, and I couldn't compete in the Olympics at that time.
Well, that answers that question, and if one wants to know where he was, that's why. When we return, we're going to take a little review of the first Leonard Duran fight, and then we'll be talking with Dave Jacobs, not only about that fight, but also his close ties with a young man known as Tommy Hearns, the welterweight champion of the world. That when we return in just a moment. It was Friday night, June 20th. The place was Montreal. At stake, the WBC Welterweight Championship. The combatants, Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard.
That was one of the first times in my whole career, you know, that I've been hit that hard, and the feeling stayed with me. I backed up against the ropes. I covered up, and I waited for him to punch himself out, but I knew it was too early in the rounds for him to do that, too early in the fight. But he hit me good, he hit me very good. I didn't clear my head until about the 4th, maybe 5th round. I knew I hurt Duran a number of times. I felt something within me to give all I got, just go for broke. And he had the same feeling, and we stood there. We threw a right hand, and it was about that close from each other. If it had landed, we would knock each other out. I said, hey, I got it, but I know it's tight. I know it's close. I said, all I have to do is win the last 2 rounds. I think I fought Duran a way that I could have pretty much offset him, and I think I did that, especially in the later rounds.
With us, we have the pleasure of having Dave Jacobs. Dave was in the corner with Sugar Ray at that fight, and I thought that maybe we might get a few comments from him first as to what he thought about that fight as we look back on it. What were your thoughts of that night? Was it, in fact, do you think, one of the greatest fights of all time?
Well, I'll say this, George, that I thought it was a very good fight, and I thought that Ray did win, and I always will say that. I must say that Duran intimidated Ray from the outset of the fight, and he made Ray fight his type of fight. It was the thing that me and Angelo kept telling Ray to stay off the ropes, try to stay more in the center of the ring. And Ray just said to himself, I'm going to fight this guy at his own game and try to beat him at his own game. And it was a tough fight. Now, let me say this, is that a lot of people say he won, a lot of people say he lost. But I still say that Ray won the fight. He lost the fight on the outside of the ring.
Tommy, I must come back and ask you, your reflective thoughts. Now, you've watched that fight. I'm sure you've seen the Leonard Duran fight once or twice. Yes. What were your thoughts about it? How did you view the fight? Because you were an impartial observer.
Well, at the beginning of the fight, I seen that Ray had a little fear in his heart about coming out fighting Duran. And when the bell rang, I see that it was quite different. Ray, even from the start, he's come out. He wasn't even fighting this type of fight at all. He wasn't moving like he usually moves when he's fighting. It was basically just like he was staying closer to the ropes and trying to pull away from the shot, pull out of range from the shot. And each time that he would pull, you would seem like he pulled right into it.
You mentioned the word fear. I know enough about boxing to know that if you ever go into the ring with any fear, you're in trouble before you start. Have you ever had that when you go into the ring?
No. I never had any fear at all because I don't feel another fighter, another man at all. I don't care what his capabilities are or what he can do. I have no fear at all. I'm gonna go out and do mine and hope for the best.
I'm going to come back to you one more time, Dave. What were your thoughts as far as when Ray told us the night before the fight, he says, I'm going to go toe-to-toe with Duran. And I said, this has got to be a ploy. He would not really go toe-to-toe with Duran, and then he did. Whose idea was it?
That was Ray's idea. That was Ray's idea alone to go toe-to-toe with Duran. The instructions that he got from the corner was the fact that he used more of a lateral movement on Duran, not to stay direct in front of him. We wanted to hit him with body shots, move, but not giving him Duran a stationary target. But Ray just decided that he wanted to brawl with him, and you saw what happened. But still in my mind, George, I still feel as though Ray won.
So much for the first Leonard Duran fight. Let us move to a subject that I think is long overdue in the United States. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like for you to get to know why they call Tommy Hearns the Hitman. Here is a man who is 29-0, 27 knockouts, and yes, he's won some fights over some people that they said he couldn't beat. So with that, Tommy, with your permission, let's roll the tape and take a look at some of the people that you've had fights with.
Okay, George. Okay, this is Angela's father. Right now, this is about the second round now. You put him down the second round.
Did you think he'd get back up?
Well, I thought maybe he would have got back up, but it seems to me that he was hurt really pretty bad there. This is Jim Richardson. This was in Las Vegas. This is a guy, I had to fight somebody about my height then. almost same reach as I had, and I put him out in the second round too.
Oh, this is the one, that's right. He had a hard time getting up after the next one, didn't he?
Yeah, he's...
Were you surprised when he got out?
Well, I was surprised when he got out the first time, but after the second knockdown, I knew he wasn't going to get up and try it again.
Watch. There's no way. Now, he tries to get up. What were you thinking as you see this?
Well, I knew that he wasn't going to make it. Right there, I see that the fight was definitely over. This is Bruce Fent. Bruce Fent put up a good fight. I won 8 rounds with Bruce Fent. This guy, he was come in, he said that his manager and the trainer, everybody was hitting him in the head with a baseball bat to prepare him for the fight with him.
It didn't do him much good. I think they must have had lightweight baseball bats.
Body shots hurt him.
Right. This is a middleweight fight. This is Colbert, Mike Colbert. I went up a weight class to fight this guy. I gained a couple of pounds. And this here is, this is Bruce Curry. I stopped him in 3. I had suffered a butt and a cut over my right eye that I knew it wouldn't be too long because it was a pretty bad cut, so I had to go all out and try to do my best to get him out.
Big crowds in Joe Louis Arena for your fight.
Right. This is Sansak Manju.
He's a kickboxer?
Yes.
He's from Thailand.
Yes, he was a southpaw too.
Did he give you much trouble being a southpaw?
Well, it was quite a little difficult for me because I had to adjust to his style, you know, everything had to be over top of his right hand. I had to stay on, move a different way than I usually move.
Body shots really hurt him too.
Right.
I think he takes one right here, it hurts him. There it is. Yeah. He was another game fighter also.
This is Monson.
Mel
De Rosa, yes, Mel, sorry.
He was a pretty tough cookie too. He came to fight. I remember him saying that he thought that he could beat Thomas. We were in Puerto Rico and Thomas sparred with him and knocked him out.
This is Clyde Gray. I went 10 rounds with Clyde and managed to stop him in the 10th.
It's the first fight Thomas ever went 10 rounds. Well, 9.5.
Now, this guy is
Eddie
Marcel. This guy was saying that he would fight me anywhere. And after the first round, I think he made a decision that he didn't want to fight me anywhere then.
Well, when you go in the ring, I can see why they called you the Hitman. I mean, the cover of Ring magazine becomes very apparent. Did you ever resent being called the Hitman? I mean, because obviously there's some implications.
Well, at first it did bother me, sort of, you know, took effect on me because people said that, I mean, you know, just Hitman, I really learned to just live with that name, you know, just put up with, I think that now is a good name for me. You know?
Obviously, you can see why the name The Hitman is there for Tommy Hearns and why he says it's a name that he can well deal with now. When we return in just a moment, we're going to take a look at Dave Jacobs, the man who knows both he, Sugar Ray Leonard, as well as Tommy Hearns. Dave's been close to both fighters for a long, long time. We'll talk with him as well as the fight they said Tommy Hearns could not win. That when we return in just a moment. Hello, Mr. Bourbon. 1980. The place, Joe Louis Arena, Detroit. The event, Tommy Hearns meets WBA champion Pepino Cuevas. I don't know if you can remember back to when the first Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard fight took place, but we talked to Roberto Duran at that time and we asked him about Tommy Hearns. Well, Roberto looked up and said, after Pepino Cuevas, there'll be no more Tommy Hearns. As you may or may not know, in the second round of that fight for the championship, Cuevas and Hearns, Tommy Hearns put Cuevas away. Cuevas had never been knocked down in his career. You've had a lot of shots. You've had 27 knockouts. But boy, that Cuevas knockout, I mean, you hit him 100%.
Well, it was just like, it was merely a measured shot. I worked off a measured move that usually a lot of fighters usually use for measuring. I like stuck my left hand out in his face and he couldn't see anything from there. Then I just brought the right hand right over top.
Did you know when you hit him, did you say, that goodbye, Pepino?
Oh yes, because I felt the whole impact myself. You know, when I hit him with the shot, I felt it back myself. When I hit it, I felt it like turned me sideways. When I shot the shot and it connected, it turned me. And after that, I just knew all I needed was another shot to really take him out.
The next big name on the hit list for Tommy Hearns is former welterweight champ Wilfredo Benitez. He will fight Hearns in February. And after that, Hearns wants the winner of the Bourbon Street Brawl. The first Leonard Duran fight was a battle of epic proportions in which Sugar Ray lost his crown to Roberto Duran in a classic confrontation. Leonard says this fight will be different. You said before the last fight that you did not know the meaning or how to spell the word lose. You know, it happened, and it's something you've had to live with. What effect has it had?
Well, I learned how to spell it. But it's made me more determined. Experiencing a loss, I mean, I accepted it because I felt that I gave all I had. I could see if I had hit him and ran or just, let's say, half-step. But I gave it all I had, George. I fought Duran, I stood toe-to-toe with him, I took his best shots, and I delivered some. But one thing, and it's in the back of my mind, I didn't give him my best shot.
Si no lo pudo hacer la primera vez, ¿cómo lo va a hacer la segunda vez? Y yo estoy en mejores condiciones que la primera vez que peleé con él.
If he couldn't make it before, he's not going to be able to make it now. And now I'm better than the last fight. Better shape than the last time.
Tengo yo que estar enfermo para que él me canse a mí, para que yo me tengo yo que tener las piernas amarradas y las manos para que él me pueda pegar a mí.
I should be sick to let Leonard beat me.
Es que Leonard está volviendo loco ya, dile.
He's getting crazy. Leonard is getting crazy.
For the first time in his career, Sugar Ray Leonard will be without the services of his longtime friend and trainer, Dave Jacobs. According to Jacobs, he will not be there because of a falling out with Ray's business manager, lawyer Mike Trainer.
Let's look back at Mike Trainer. He's a lawyer, and all this man is thinking about is cash money. He don't know anything about boxing. He never will. And like I said before, this man should stay in his office and work with his law degree and let fight people take care of boxing.
It started last June with the Brawl in Montreal. The fight scene now moves to New Orleans, Louisiana. The question, can Sugar Ray Leonard reclaim his crown? We'll answer that when we return in just a moment.
Beat Duran by him being champion, and I must be decisively, cleanly, and make sure that the judges see it my way.
Porque Lene no me piensa... Lene, olvídate que tú me vas a ganar a mí. Ni soñando me vas a ganar a mí. Diga así, que dígale así.
He has a message for Leonard. Forget about winning. Forget about winning. I'm going to win.
You're right. Que venga todo lo rápido que él quiera.
Come as quickly as you can. I'm going to win.
I really feel that Duran will beat Leonard. I think that Duran has really built up his confidence now after the first fight with Leonard. Duran knows about what Leonard's capabilities are and what his weak points are and where is his strong points now.
Oh, he's going to be champion again. I feel strong about it. I'm more juiced up about it. I'm looking forward to this fight.
Well, I feel it as though that the only way Ray can win is that he knocked Duran out. And that's going to be a hard task, knocking out Duran. And, you know, I feel as though that he won the first one and he didn't get the decision. And I know for a fact if this one goes to Dissler, he can forget it because it will go to champion weight this time.
No good. Too much talk. He said Muhammad Ali. Crazy.
I don't think you need a translation for that.
I don't like Duran either. I mean, the first time around, our first encounter, I thought it was just a hype. But the guy's for real. I mean, the way he acts, the way he walks around, I mean, he displays his animalistic tactics in the ring and outside the ring, which is bad, especially for a champion. And any guy that doesn't respect himself, the public, and the press, I don't respect him either.
I'm George Michael, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tuesday night. We'll be talking with Tommy Hearns after the fight Tuesday night in New Orleans. As you know, Scott Murray will be there, so I hope that you'll be with us. Thank you for joining us for the Bourbon Street Brawl. Have a good evening, everybody.